Hey guys, welcome back. So we are back out here in the shop. And man, this morning I was not feeling too terribly grand, and I am finally able to get back out here to do something today, just get myself moving. This is going to be a multiple day thing, just so you guys know. So if you see a shirt change, that's why. So I'm going to, with a little bit of backstory here, I'm going to be making some plate stands or display racks for bigger platters. I'm not gonna quite do it like this one. This one's hinged, and would be great. I mean, if I was doing this for somebody and I was only doing just one or just a few, I would definitely do it this way. But this is not quite for just one person. I'm only going to be making just one. Quite frankly, I'm not going to be making anything off of these, and let me explain why. Every year we have at our family reunions, luckily our family still does it every year. Every year we do an auction to help fund for the following year. It consists of stuff like this and a variety of different things for people to come in and just kind of, like I said, help fund for the next year. More or less, it's a fun way. It's just an auction. It's just a fun way for people to throw money in and help cover for the next year. And that way it's not reliant on just one family of the family. You know what I mean? Because I mean, you got like 5 different families in one reunion, but it's all part of the same base family. So it's just a quick and easy way, just to make it fun, I should say, to raise to put forward the money for it. Like I said, it's just an auction. We just call it that, but it's, like I said, it's just a fun way to do this. So I decided this year, go ahead and make about 20 of these, because a few years back we had these display plates or platters, more or less, for the family, where it had the reunion name, the little name that we have for it, and the 25-year anniversary. I think that's what it is. I can't remember. I have to look again. And well, I had been thinking that here recently that we don't have a platter stand. So I did some asking around in our family group thing and found out about how many plates had been given out that particular year. Came out to be about 20, so I got 20 of these things to make. I'm going to go ahead, I know, like I said, it's not my design, but I just want to show you guys just how to use a template and make something fun kind of out of it. So go ahead and get this rolling and go ahead and get started. All right, so what I plan on doing is using this using this cedar that I have, because I've got a bunch of planks over there. I got several board feet of it over here, so I'm probably this is what it's going to primarily be out of. So it's quite literally a matter of having your template, what do you want, and lining it up and tracing it out. It's that simple. If you want to see the process of this, stick around. So I'm going to do mine a little bit different. I'm just going to simply, whenever I go to lay these out, I'm going to run this on the table saw, 45 this edge, and then once it's 45, after I cut them out, it will come out like this. It'll be fixed at that 90, and that way it stays there, and that way it's set up, because it will fit with the plates. But yeah, it would be nice to keep it moving, but a pair of these hinges are about $6 a pair. So I'm trying to work with what I have. And besides, this will be kind of a neat ordeal to just simply have in the family. So what I plan on doing is kind of going back and forth. I have this one here, and then once I get it traced, flip it over to the other side like this and do the same thing. That way I can kind of maximize my board here. Use as much of it as I possibly can. Because if you're like me, where you can't just simply buy this wood, when you're using reclaimed wood, more or less, every little bit is critical. Here's that traced out. I'll go ahead and flip it over here and do this one. And that there would be one piece, one stand. So now I'm going to go ahead and copycat this all the way down and then start cutting these out so I can start running them through the bandsaw. Alright, so here I left enough room in between each one that I drawn out. I don't know how well you can see it, but I left room. That way I can just go ahead and cut each one off just to make it a little bit easier to manipulate in the bandsaw and everything else. And then now, on to 45 in the edges. Alright, to make my life a little bit easier on these really tight spots with the bandsaw, I'm going to go ahead and drill out these little spots just to make it a little bit easier and make relief cuts for the bandsaw. Alright, so I just realized I goofed up on this. And the more I thought about it after I realized it, I should have known better. And let me show you. As you know, I did a 45 on each side here. And I laid these out as supposed to be as a pair, I thought. Which they are, and I can still make it work. But I was wanting 245s off of this, off of the same point, same cut here. After I cut these out and went ahead and did a test fit, they're complete opposites off that point. So, because see, I should have known better. But it is what it is. And I went ahead and did a dry fit, comparing it to the plate that we are going to be using as the display. And having it like this will still work, and I'll actually have a little bit more clearance in the sense of it being more vertical. And it won't, these plates are not terribly heavy, so I'm not worried about it rolling off or anything, and it still does sit in here pretty comfortably. So I'm able to salvage these instead of wasting all of this extra material here. Dadgummit. I didn't realize I goofed up. I just goofed up on the layout. Because they should have been end to end. This end here should have been down there with that other end, or well, just mirrored this way to make it work. And it would have worked out that way. But it is what it is, like I said. And I will be able to salvage these, so that's a good plus. So let's keep moving forward. They are all cut out finally, and they are ready to be sanded. And I got a little bit of burning. I want to put our little emblem deal on here. Burn them on just one face, but they're all cut out and at the expense of a blade on my bandsaw. So then I went ahead and used a scroll saw. Somebody always got to have a backup. I'm going to go ahead and get these sanded mostly, and go ahead and get this rough stuff off of here and make it more smooth, I guess, and get them done there, and along with the faces of them. And I'm going to do that burning. I'm going to move on to that. And then, of course, assembly. So, let's get going. I've been having a terrible time with these stands, and the deal that's been happening has been break off of these little legs up front. Several of them have been breaking off, and I've been able to try to make it work. I think what the deal is, here, let me put this down. I think what the deal is with this, the grain is going with the leg. On top of that, this is a really old wood. That doesn't help any. Cedar, it doesn't help any. I think also this grain, the way that it runs vertical here, I think that's another big reason why these have been breaking off like that. Kind of like what this here, you can kind of see where I had to brad it and put glue in there and everything. And I'm already 2 down, so I'm gonna have to go back and make 2 new ones. My hands start hurting because I've been sanding this, so I still got a few more over here to sand down around the edges a little bit, kind of like what I did here. Clean it up just a little bit more. And I bet you this one here, see that? I bet this leg here is gonna break off. I've been trying to do what I can with what I got and just trying to make it work. This bit hasn't been doing me too terribly well. They did come out pretty nice, this one did. I'm hoping that the rest of them come out the same. We'll find out. I got another month or so, but from the time I made this video-ish, I think. But either way, I got plenty of time to get these done, and so that'll buy me a little bit of time to get these fixed and cleaned up and so on. But this is just my rendition of the plate stand. It doesn't look exactly identical. They do look pretty nice. So I'm actually even though I'm a little bummed out about all these legs breaking off, it's not all of them, just some of them, I'm still kind of glad on how these things turned out. They are pretty. So, well, I'm still, my hand got a little crazy there, so it's a little bit longer. But these turned out really well. If you enjoyed what you watched, I've got plenty more videos in the woodworking playlist. Some more videos to this. If you want to check out the rest of the channel, woodworking is not the only thing I do. There's a bunch of other things on the playlists that you can go check out. And if you want to check out the social medias, they'll be linked in the description below. There's Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. And I'm going to go ahead and jump onto the video verse. Those took a little bit longer than expected to get done, but I also was doing 20 of them. I definitely learned a couple of lessons, a couple of hard lessons. I would have definitely saved a lot of time later down the road in putting those together. But they are done, all 20 of them, and they are ready to go. And that is a plus, and I'm way ahead of schedule on those. It's just I had a bunch of free time on hand, and I wanted to go ahead and knock those out. So today's video verse is Hebrews chapter 13, verses 7 through 19. I am sorry, it is a little bit longer one, but we're getting to the end of Hebrews, and we only have one more deal after this, and it will be in the end of it. So we're getting close to the end here on this one. Remember your leaders who have spoken God's word to you. As you carefully observe the outcome of their lives, imitate their faith. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Don't be led astray by various kinds of strange teachings, for it is good for the heart to be established by grace and not by food regulations, since those who observe them have not benefited. We have an altar from which those who worship at the tabernacle do not have a right to eat. For the bodies of those animals whose blood is brought into the most holy place by the high priest as a sin offering are burned outside the camp. Therefore Jesus also suffered outside the gate, so that he might sanctify the people by his own blood. Let us then go to him outside the camp, bearing his disgrace. For we do not have an enduring city here. Instead, we seek the one to come. Therefore, through him, let us continually offer up to God a sacrifice of praise, that is the fruit of lips that confess his name. Don't neglect to do what is good and to share, for God is pleased with such sacrifices. Obey your leaders and submit to them, since they keep watch over your souls as those who will give an account, so that they can do this with joy and not with grief, for that would be unprofitable for you. Pray for us, for we are convinced that we have a clear conscience, wanting to conduct ourselves honorably in everything. And I urge you all the more to pray that I may be restored to you very soon. And that is Hebrews chapter 13, verses 7 through 19. Thank you for watching, guys, and hope to see you all in the next one.